Hello, Coco Yako, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldhound, normally a hater of Magic cards, will lovingly and calmly look at your commander deck's weird little PP. Now, today we're looking at a Queen Kayla Bin Krug deck. Right, the PP is the premise and the practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck; it's what you want it to do. Your practicum is what it actually does, all the stuff that goes wrong once you actually shuffle up. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about their idea, if it can be achieved at the power level they want to play at, and then we will talk about what things can we adjust in the deck to bring that to life. Now, we want to do Queen Kayla Bin Krug. We don't have a specific underlying gimmick. It is just Queen Kayla Bin Krug cool. Me want Krug Max. Yes. I'm down with that. So what she does is for 4 mana and tapping her, we can wheel ourself. And then we can reanimate an artifact or creature with mana value 1. We can do it again for something with mana value 2. We can do it again for something with mana value 3. So we can I held up 4 fingers. We can theoretically get out 3 things per wheel. Now, one of the problems we are having is we're not getting that nice mix. We're oftentimes only getting like 1 thing back. We're having trouble finding a win condition. The value we get isn't enough, and we don't have enough cards in hand to consistently activate Kayla for value. And this is a problem I've seen a lot of Kayla decks struggle with, because you go like, okay, I'm going to land drop. Maybe I ramp to Kayla. Maybe I play something that doubles her thing. Great. Fuck, I only have 3 cards in hand. I wheel myself. I only reanimate 1 thing. It's mid. Oh god, oh fuck, my crush is never going to text me back now. And then you play a land next turn. You're like, fuck, oh god, oh shit. So I'm sympathetic, and we do have ways we can fix that. Now, the biggest problem, I think, is going to be win condition, because as you have pointed out from seeing on EDH Rec, most of the time when people are winning with this deck, it is a combo deck. This is a very, very limited subset of Boros, and there are some value permanents we can play here. The problem is almost nothing you can play is going to be as good as the green player who's ramping to a dinosaur. Like, never ever. I wish it was. It would be like the world would be a better place if it was. But a thing you are going to consistently run into is the maximum value you can get. Like, let's say we hit like all 3 things. I get a Weathered Wayfarer back out. I get a Thalia Guardian, a Thraven back out, and I get a Vryn Wingmare back out. That's a 5/3 altogether, using my commander's text box and 4 extra mana and the power of God and anime. Fuck, dude, they played Hulking Raptor. Fuck, I'm dead. We can overcome that, though. Now, I don't think the way to overcome that, particularly in bracket 2, is stacks. I think the way to overcome that is removal, which is much different from stacks, because the things you put out are on a 1-for-1 basis, never going to be as good as the things they are putting out. But what you can do is go, okay, I'm putting out 2 things. Now, one of these things is mid, but one of these things gets rid of one of your things. I pass. That's still going to have problems, because there is a limit to like how much we can fill your deck with removal, and we also want this removal to be creature or artifact based so that we can get Halo value out of it as well, and that's going to hem us in even further. But if you wanted to make something like this work, I would be angling for some type of like probably aggressive +1/+1 counters deck. Maybe anthems, but most anthems I can think of for Boros are going to be there's going to be a lot of enchantment based ones which don't work with Kayla. So you could do something that seeked to, and we're immediately going to non-bow, because one of the best Boros aggro pieces is to play Inti, who lets you put counters on stuff, but we have to discard a card and it exiles, so it keeps something out of our hand that we can't use for Kayla. But I would be seeking to assemble. No, where's this Lorwyn loser? Hold on, set. Is that actually a set code? Fuck me, man. There's a guy that can do this. There's a Kithkin that can do this. He's like 2 mana and he cheats something out. Oh, I think it's Kinscare Sentry. I think it's this guy. So like this is a 2 mana guy with first strike and lifelink, and on attack you can cheat out another creature. This is another thing that does not work beautifully with Queen Kayla because we need stuff in our hand, but I believe you can ameliorate this balance by having more things that cantrip or replace themselves. So like if you wheel and you bring back Tataru Taru, we're okay because you now get a card and you also get a tap treasure. And so it's like I got value off of this thing because I wheeled it, and it has netted me a new card in the new hand. And so you may have to play more things like Spirited Companion than you would otherwise want to. But we would be doing things like Spirited Companion. What we would really want to make that come together is we want to give our creatures some form of stacking buff so they can go to combat better. I'm not going to try to make you play banding, but I'm imagining things like Sky Hunter Strike Force, because this is 3 mana. You can go to the top of the curve. It's flying. Going to give our creatures melee, which means if we attack every opponent, each creature will get a +3/+3 buff, which can sometimes be enough to overcome a bad blocking situation. Let's look at OTAG. Gives TP counters to all. Are there any in Boros that will be mana value 3 or less? I did greater than. My fault. So we have Anduril Narsil Reforged, which I have recommended to people before. We have Mikaeus. We have Cosmogran Zenith. We have Generous Pup, which I do think has potential. This guy just does it as a banner, but he only cares about soldiers. This guy cares about being targeted, which I don't think is going to happen a ton. I do like Practiced Offense because it has cheap flashback. Uh, I mean, shit, you could Splinter and Leo. Fuck, that's not a good card. Um, and then like the question would be, really, what are our 1 mana options? I think that's the hardest thing to figure out because we could also do, you could do Kinscale Sentry, you could do Luminarch Aspirant, who is not a very good card but does spread PP counters around. Um, let's look at repeatable PP counters. We want Commander Boros, mana value less than or equal to 3. You could play a lot of artifact creatures. Anim Pakal, and Steel Overseer in a type of like artifact creature spell shell does seem like it has potential to me. Guide of Souls certainly wouldn't be bad, being able to make something flying. You can play fucking Abzan Falconer and give all our stuff flying. I think Lelia would be good. I don't think Philia would be that good. Lion Sash is okay. Grave Hate. I already talked about Inti. I really don't want to push you in a life gain strategy. I think you could do a life gain strategy. I would consider that different from doing the like wide board +1/+1 counter strategy, and I would just go like a Johnny's Pridemate-esque creatures, which has a tag. It's O-tag Pridemate up here in this section. Um, and then you could just play like Soul Warden-esque effects and life gain cards, but then like red, red is kind of wasted for you. Um, I don't really believe we have enough legendaries even in the mix I'm thinking of right now to get away with Gimli, but he does have double strike, which is very attractive to me. Ooh, Conformer Shuriken is pretty good for an aggressive deck. Vincent can grow. He's another 3 mana thing, and I don't want to do too many 3 mana things. Shit, dog, you could play Reluctant Role Model. That was a terrible card. And it's like, how does this win us a game? The way this wins us a game is you have to be playing the like hold up removal game all the fucking time. All the fucking time. You have to be playing the hold up removal game. You have to be playing the like, oh yeah, all my creatures suck, but I don't care because I have austere command. Dickhead. How about that? How about some of them apples? Um, and then you would probably have like the higher end of your curve would be things like Sun Titan. Um, Smile at Death is like really slow card for Commander, but it does hit basically everything we've talked about so far. And so you would seek to be a very grindy deck. I think like your perfect world is you turn one Ragavan. Like you're trying to go creature, Queen Kayla, next turn, wheel, get 1 to 2 things out. We hope one of those 2 things gives you some cards. And then we just keep like, for a 4 mana wheel, I dump 6 mana of aggressive stuff on the board, and I'm just trying to hit whoever I think has the strongest late game. And you will have to become a relatively nimble political maneuverer because this is not going to be a deck where you can kill everybody at the same time. I think in the current version of the deck, you have a lot of like burn ping, which is you trying to like spread damage evenly. Cannot happen in the version I am pitching to you right now. The version I am pitching to you right now is like, Daniel, you are Simic Ramp. If I allow you to get 10 mana, I cannot deal with any threat you put down, which means you have to die at the hands of a man and his really large bird. Can we take a moment? That bird is crazy big. Like he's behind the guy. That's not even forced perspective. That's insane. Anyway, so you have to die at the hands of my unnaturally large bird right now. I would not be trying to spread damage to everybody. I would think of my win conditions as like I eventually drop either a one-sided board wipe like Austere Command. I play a big extra combat spell. I would be heavily prioritizing spells that had flashback. So we talked about practiced offense already. I would also want, how much removal can we get that falls within this deck's desired wheelhouse? Because as much as we can, we want to, when we bring stuff back, we want to get back, like, we don't have to get back 3 things every time, but we would like to get back one thing that does utility. That utility can either be draws me a card or removes something. And then we want one thing that helps us keep pressure on. So the things that keep pressure on are threats like Anim Pakal, things that can improve our existing threats like Guide of Souls or Abzan Falconer, Cosmogrand Zenith. And then we need to find, where did I lose? There it is. Okay. Is artifact, is creature, commander, black, red, mana value less than or equal to 3. Partial type matches is fine. And then on top of this, we want O-tag removal. There's Lauren of the Third Path. There is Skyclave Apparition. Now this one's a little bit tough because it can only hit other low mana things. So this is why you have to kill Sammy Simic in the early game. Because if they get to 10 mana threats, we can no longer do anything. If you do this +1/+1 counters thing, you could bring in Contagion Clasp. I really don't think it's that good. I'm grasping for straws right now. We got Fiend Hunter. We have Summon Ixion to delay people. We have Chainsaw, which is actually a phenomenally good card. Chainsaw is criminally underrated. Very, very potent. Star Athlete's another 3 mana option. Sunset Strike Master is really not that good and only deals damage to flying. I mean, shit, you could bring back the Spear of Heliod. I don't think we want Caltrops. Werefox Bodyguard does removal. Bounty Agent can kill a commander. Very relevant for our format. Unidentified hover ship can also remove. Transmogrifying Wand can remove. Flage would be so good because you're probably gonna have a full graveyard to just escape him as well. So Flage can do a little bit of removal. I don't love Argent Diaz because it lets people draw so many cards. Fuck dog, if you find a way to make Intrepid Hero work, you'll be my hero forever. Oh, Duskrow's Reliquary. This is a good 1 mana option. You get around the casting cost because you're not going to be actually casting it. Portable Hole I don't believe in for Commander because it only hits such a low mana value. Yeah, our options are truly not great. Um, but we don't have no options. And the balance you would have to try to work in is like how can I have threats, things that draw me cards, and things that will remove other people's threats long enough for me to try to finish them off? And then what big bombs can I have that will meaningfully upgrade how scary my board is to try to overwhelm somebody in the late game? So there's big recursion stuff like Sun Titan, like Smile at Death. What big things could we do? We could give everybody double strike, but if they aren't big enough to begin with, I'm not sure I believe in double strike. You could do Kathar's Crusade because you have the potential of vomiting like 3 creatures onto the board at once, which would be 3 +3 +1 +1s to everybody. But we can't have very many of those because we're going to be wheeling, so we don't want to just wheel them away and then be screwed. So the starting point I would be on is we need more draw than this, and as much as we can, the draw should be permanent based. So I don't like big score. I don't like faithless looting. I'm okay with Archivist of Ogma, but it's variable. I would dead ass rather run Spirited Companion because we're gonna try to be like pretty fucking. We got to be spending a lot of mana every turn. We got to be doing a lot of stuff every turn. I don't like Vial of Caladriel unless that if that turns our first draw off of Queen Kayla into draw 2 every time. That's really cute, and then it can stay. I'm okay with Joined Researchers with Ichor Wellspring. Pet card indeed, but very cute pet card. Uh, no, I don't think so, but maybe. Uh, should just be Sun Titan. Like, where's the? Okay, if you're not gonna do a combo, this cannot be the curve. This can be the curve if there is a deterministic thing you can hit that will win you the game because your desire is to create some sort of mid-range Kayla strategy. You have to have some things that can't be hit by Kayla, and you're just going to have to eat that negative variance because if you don't, the card quality of things you bring back is so low that with no combo, we just have nowhere to go. I would cut the entire burn section. Um, I think the ramp is okay. I don't think you need it. Like for I would be valuing card draw and removal higher than ramp. Like Soul Ring can stay. I hate Soul Ring, but Soul Ring can stay because it's a broken card. I would also cut stacks entirely, but my goal would be I am curving out. I'm going like land drop Ragavan, land drop Luminarch Aspirant, land drop Kayla, land drop first wheel. Hopefully, I draw some cards off that first wheel, and then every turn it's like wheel, maybe cast one more spell, or if I get Cosmic Grand Zenith, then I'm actually casting my spells. So do we have card advantage? That's the other stop we have. Like Esper Sentinel works, of course he does, because Esper Sentinel works with every deck. Facebreaker makes a lot of money. It doesn't work exactly with what this deck wants to do because it impulse draws, which does not assist us. Sensei's Divining Top works, but it does work with everybody. Like you can put this back to draw a card right before your Queen Kayla activation, and you know it's going to be one of the cards that you pick up, and then it's just 1 mana to get back. Would not Scrawling Crawler or Howling Mine. Based on the buff strategy we're going for, you could do Enduring Innocence, but I don't have immense faith in it. I don't love Wall of Omens because it's a defender, and we have to be pretty aggressive. I do love Tataru Taru. I don't love Key to the City. I don't love Palantir of Orthanc because our curve is so low, people will not fear us. Shit, dog, you can play Inspiring Overseer. Shit, dog. Don't love Inti, is what we already talked about. Do we have Helpful Hunter? I don't love Party Thrasher. You could put Pip-Boy in just as one of these aggressive equipments, and if you do get a lot of +1/+1 counter stuff, Dusk Legion Duelist can draw you some cards. Uh, this is all just filtering more, which I don't really love. God, Reckoner Bankbuster has fallen so far. Rogue's Glove requires us to connect. Yes Man does draw 2 cards. Creates a sort of, you can try to politic with people as well. I do like Horn of the Mark for this strategy we are laying out where you're going to be attacking constantly. Not convinced we're going to have enough legendaries. If we have enough legendaries, stuff like Mary could be good, but we need to be really high on the legendary count. God, Prophetic Prism's bad. Golly. I don't like attacking alone. Uh, you could try stuff like Glimmer Lens. Again, we're really reaching here, and it makes me less and less confident. Okay, long range sensor is truly heat, but those are the things we have to try to balance. We have to try to balance things that are going to grow over time, either by giving one thing +1/+1 counters or giving everything +1/+1 counters. We need creatures and artifacts that will draw us a card on ETB or have some type of activated ability to draw us a card, because that will keep our hand more full with Queen Kayla. If you can't find many of those, it is acceptable to run a few of the instant and sorcery burst draw options, uh cut a deal, like Secret Rendezvous, which is already on that one creature in the deck. Because these will get you back up to like an acceptable number of cards basically immediately. And then you will have to play in a couple bombs that either recur a lot of stuff. You can run like Ascend from Avernus because it's 6 mana. This will bring back most of your graveyard. But you have to play things that you intend to spend more than 3 mana on because you are trying to finish out a mid-range strategy rather than a combo strategy. Um, And then you need a bunch of removal. And if it can't all be creatures or artifacts, that is sad, but you definitely need removal. You definitely need answers to what your opponents are doing. I do realize that is a whole different deck than the one you have currently built, and I am sorry, but if you don't want to do a combo, your current approach is never going to work. So if anybody else has a Queen Kayla deck that is like this, non-combo, and has a different idea, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I wish you the best, and I do hope this helps.